So today we are going to study about basic functions and few more of the functionalities inside these functions. So user defined functions. So अभी तक आपने जो सारे functions जो देखे थे वो inbuilt functions थे Python में. So I'm starting my Jupyter notebook. So function क्या रहता है सबसे पहले वो study करेंगे. So for example, any machine if you consider, for example apple cutter, I am giving a relatable example. So for example apple cutter, इसमें हम रॉ एप्पल्स ऐड करेंगे तो आउटपुट आ जाएगा ये कटेड एप्पल्स. सिमिलरली टोस्टर में अगर आप ब्रेड इनपुट करोगे तो उसमें आउटपुट आ जाएगा टोस्टेड ब्रेड्स. सो इसी तरीके से कोई इनपुट दोगे और आउटपुट आता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज फंक्शन. सिमिलरली अगर मैं कोई मैथमेटिकल फंक्शन बोलता हूँ, फॉर एग्जाम्पल y is equal to x square, it is one of the function. So एक इनपुट रहता है, इनपुट मीन्स योर x, और आउटपुट आपका रहता है y. आउटपुट इज नथिंग बट y is equal to x squared. For example, I am considering this as my output. So आप कोई भी नंबर यहाँ पे अगर ऐड करोगे 3, so 3 का स्क्वायर आएगा इज इक्वल टू this 3 into 3 squared. 3 squared 9 है था. अगर मैं 1.5 लिखता हूँ इनपुट तो आउटपुट आ रहा है 2.25. So this is also one type of function, mathematical function. So 4, 16, 5 अगर मैं इनपुट देता हूँ तो यहाँ पे आउटपुट आ रहा है 25. So this is also one example of a function. So here until now whatever functions you had studied, those were inbuilt functions. So अभी तक आप सभी ने inbuilt functions study किए थे. So here first we'll study about inbuilt functions. For example, print. So print में आप जो भी टाइप करते हो, hello world या जो भी आप टाइप करोगे, और hi all, welcome to advanced Python class. So as soon as I execute this, जो भी print statement में, ये क्या है, print statement के लिए input है. Output क्या आता है print statement का, whatever you have written inside this input, that it will show as an output. Or any calculation if you want to do. A is equal to 5, B is equal to let us say 7, and print A divided by B, let us say. So ये जो भी आप लिखोगे आउटपुट इसमें A divided by B चाहिए या कोई भी मैथमेटिकल ऑपरेशन चाहिए तो वो भी यहाँ पे प्रिंट होके आ जाता है. So this is the use of that inbuilt function. और so ये inbuilt function हो गया print. Similarly, let us say I am having one list. So how many elements are present inside this list? 6. Correct. 6 elements are present. So Python में आपने already एक function पढ़ा था, length of a. So length of a will give you how many elements are present inside this list. So 6 elements are present. Similarly, if I want sum of all the elements inside this list, I can make sum of a. So this will give me sum. If I want maximum, so you can make use of maximum of a. मिनिमम वैल्यू चाहिए इस लिस्ट में से, मिनिमम भी एक इंटरनल फंक्शन है, मिनिमम ऑफ ए. सो मिनिमम ऑफ ए इज 1. So these were some of the inbuilt functions which you had used. Also, inside list you had used a dot append. A dot append. Let us say if I give here 7. Then here what this append function is going to do? Correct. It will add 7 at end of this list. If you observe a list again, it has added 7 at end of this list. So here similarly a dot index of 3. So what is index of the element 3 here? Correct, 2. 2 is the result. Yes. So you will get here 2. So these are some already inbuilt functions you had studied. So what if I want to create my own function? जैसे print function है, length function है. I want to create such of my own function. So अगर आपको वैसे फंक्शन क्रिएट करना है, so that is called as a user defined function in Python. So user defined function अगर आपको क्रिएट करना है Python में, first of all you have a keyword, define keyword, def, ये ऐड करना है. Then whatever function name you want to give, that you need to give here. So if you want to add two numbers, you can give addition. So you can give here addition अगर आपको करना है. So at least how many numbers you'll require? Two numbers will be required. So दो numbers को मैं name दे रहा हूँ ये, add x and y, and after that you need to give colon. So colon के बाद Python में indentation compulsory रहता है, ये आप याद रखो. So as soon as I write colon and I press enter, automatic indentation आ जाएगा यहाँ पे. उसके बाद doc string रहता है. Doc string is just for अगर आप बहुत टीम में काम कर रहे हो, if you are having multiple team members and they don't know what function you have written, so for that this doc string will be used. So this is just like a documentation for this function. So whatever your output, whatever code you want to write, जैसे आप normally code लिखते हो ना, वैसा ही लिखना है इसके बाद. So z is equal to x plus y, and finally जो फंक्शन इनपुट लेता है आउटपुट भी देना पड़ेगा, राइट? सो आउटपुट देने के लिए आपका रिटर्न कीवर्ड आता है. सो यू कैन मेक यूज ऑफ दिस रिटर्न कीवर्ड एंड रिटर्न द वैल्यू ऑफ z. सो इस तरीके से आप फंक्शन डिफाइन कर सकते हो. सो दिस इज क्लियर टू एवरीवन? ओके. सो दिस इज हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू डिफाइन एनी फंक्शन. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड एज यूजर डिफाइंड फंक्शन. सो अगर आप यहाँ पे हेल्प टाइप करते हो, if I write help of sum, so this is called as my doc string. So this will sum all the variables which are provided inside a list or a tuple. So this is called as my doc string inside the function. So हर एक function के लिए आ जाएगा ये आपको. If you write help for print, here also you'll get this doc string. So this is the doc string for my print function. So now, and here if you see, so built-in function, this is called as built-in function or method. Function is also called as method in Python. So here, now let us see user-defined function. So here I have given example of addition. I can also give example of, I will write the function multiply. So define multiply. So let us take any two numbers. You can give any names. Compulsory नहीं कि x और y होना चाहिए. You can give a and b. So multiply a comma b. Then after that you have doc string here. So doc string के लिए triple quotes add करने हैं. So triple quotes आप multiple line में भी लिख सकते हो. This is called as multi-string in Python. So this function multiplies two numbers. So here, first of all, I can, whatever your value, c is equal to a into b. You can multiply this number and finally return the value of c. So as soon as you execute this, so ये function create हो चुका है मेरा. And here, if I write help on my multiplication, so it will give you, so function multiplication, it is in module underscore underscore main means refers to this notebook. Whichever notebook I have created now, that is called as my underscore underscore main. So this was my doc string. So इसमें जो भी आपने function create किया है, multiply a comma b, वो दिखेगा आपको, and this function multiplies two numbers. So same आपको दिखाई देगा इसमें. This is my doc string. If anyone wants, they can make use of this help function. So help function भी आपको ये function के बारे में बताएगा. So once this is done, you can simply make use of this function like this. Multiply 3 comma 4 if I give like this. So here 3 comma 4, 3 multiplied by 4 is 12. So you can also store it in any other value. Let us say c or z is equal to multiplication of 4, 1.5, let us say. Execute. So ये वैल्यू आपको डायरेक्टली यहाँ पे आउटपुट नहीं दिखाएगा. इट इज स्टोर्ड इन विच वेरिएबल? Z वेरिएबल में आउटपुट स्टोर्ड है. तो Z चेक करोगे, Z में आपको आउटपुट दिखाई देगा 6.0. So you can store this in any function or you can make use of this directly. So यहाँ तक सभी को क्लियर है? Okay. So then now what if I want प्रोडक्ट ऑफ मल्टीपल नंबर्स? यहाँ पर सिर्फ दो नंबर्स मैंने रखे थे. व्हाट इफ आई वांट प्रोडक्ट ऑफ मल्टीपल नंबर्स विथ लिस्ट? प्रोडक्ट ऑफ मल्टीपल नंबर्स. सो इसके लिए जो लॉजिक मैं यूज करने वाला हूँ, whenever you calculate the product of multiple numbers, you need to initialize the product with 1. अगर सम रहेगा तो सम के लिए आप कैसे इनिशियलाइज करोगे? इफ यू हैव सम, यस, ऑलवेज इनिशियलाइज द सम विथ 0. तो प्रोडक्ट को आपको 1 से इनिशियलाइज करना है. एंड इफ यू आर कैलकुलेटिंग सम, यू नीड टू इनिशियलाइज इट विथ 0. प्रोडक्ट मतलब क्या होगा? अभी ये जो लिस्ट है मेरे पास, जो भी लिस्ट है रहेगा, आई वांट टू कैलकुलेट 1 into 2 into 3 into multiplication of all these numbers. I want to calculate. Instead of 2 numbers, I want to now create a list. So ये दो मेथड से आप कर सकते हो. So एक फर्स्ट मेथड रहेगा taking list as a input. So define, first of all, I will give this name as product underscore list. So product underscore list, I am going to take any list as the input here. कोलन. सो यहाँ पर बाय डिफॉल्ट एक स्पेस आता है, वो सेम मेंटेन रखना. देन हियर आई एम गोइंग टू राइट दिस फंक्शन gives product of all elements inside list containing numbers. सो आप ये मल्टीपल लाइंस में भी लिख सकते हो. So similarly, here now, first of all, I will initialize my product with 1. Then for I in my LST, जो भी आपने इनपुट वेरिएबल लिया है, my list stored in which variable? LST. So यहाँ पर 1 नहीं लिखना, स्टूडेंट 1 लिखते हैं, ये LST लिखना है, लिस्ट. So then for I in my list, I will simply apply product is equal to product into I. बस ये अप्लाई करना है. एंड फाइनली जो भी आप रिटर्न करते हो ना फंक्शन में, हमेशा एक चीज याद रखो, रिटर्न जब भी आप करते हो, रिटर्न शुड ऑलवेज बी, जहां से ये फंक्शन नेम स्टार्ट हो रहा है वहां से रिटर्न होना चाहिए. सो सेम आई एम गोइंग टू रिटर्न. सो इसके लिए बस मैंने एक बैक स्पेस दे दिया, इट विल कम ऑन दिस इंडेंटेशन. सो देन रिटर्न value of p. So here let me take any list. Let us say a is equal to 3, 4, 5, 6. If I give product C is equal to product list, and if I pass my value of A, it will be stored inside C. So 3 into 4 into 5 into 6 is going to be 360. So 3 into 4 into 5 into 6. So 360. So here, this is how you can multiply. And you can also store it in any other value, or if you want to, so this is how you can make use of the product list. Directly also you can, if you want to show the result, you can make use of this product list and of A. So this will also give same result. So this is how you can make product of all the elements inside the list. So यहाँ तक सभी को clear है? Okay. So here, what if I don't have a list? Now I want to take multiple inputs, but I don't know how many inputs are there here. So for that, we have arguments in Python. So instead of list, you can make use of arguments. This is also one of the method. So here I am going to create a same function, but this time instead of taking a list input, I am going to take multiple inputs. I don't know how many numbers are there. It can be 2, it can be 3, or it can be 10. So for that we have arguments in Python. So arguments are written like this, star args, and this means multiple inputs. Multiple inputs means how many inputs are there, that they are unknown. They can be 2, 3, 4, or they can even be 100. So here define, I'm going to create a product function here, and star. This will act like a list. So remember this one. Arguments. So star arguments will act like a list. So you can give any number, star arguments or star, any variable name you can give. If you want to give numbers, you can write like this, star nums. So like this also you can write. This is also totally fine. So here first of all I'm going to give docstring. So this function takes multiple numbers as input and calculates the product or multiplication of numbers. So here I am going to first of all initialize the product with 1. Always p equal to 1. First step will be initializing the product with 1. Then next step for I in, so for I in my nums. So numbers will act just like a list. You can just apply for loop in this argument. So for I in numbers, apply p is equal to p into I. So code same ही रहेगा देखो. Code will be same, except instead of taking a list, I am taking arguments here. So then return p. So as soon as I take the product here, so product, here I can take 2 numbers as well. 2 numbers भी लिए तो भी चलेगा. If you take, even if you take product of 3 or more numbers, so 3, 7, 8, 9, and 11, let us. जितने भी आप numbers चाहिए उतने आप ले सकते हो. Not necessary it should be in a list form. You can give multiple inputs. यहाँ पे 2 input भी हो सकते, 5 inputs भी हो सकते, या आपके 10 inputs भी हो सकते. So you can also store this in any other variable. D is equal to product of, let us say, 1, 7, 1.5, 11, 12, 13, 14. So D contains this much value. So this is how my arguments are going to work. So आप ये खुद से try कर लो. So with arguments only, write a function in Python with arguments. Find out sum of numbers only from the input. So ये आप खुद से try कर लो. So यहाँ पे try कर लो अभी. So यहाँ तक सभी को clear है? Okay. So perform up to here and type done in chat. So I'll be sharing this sheet with you.
So can you explain the definition of argument again?
So argument, it will act just like a list. So here I don't know how many number of inputs are going to be there. There can be 2, they can be 4, or they can be 10 or 100. So if you don't know how many inputs are required, you can make use of arguments. So it will act just like a list. This argument will act just like a list. So if you want to see here, so I will just show you. Define. Let me write some other function here. function, and here simply I'm giving star arguments, and I will simply write here like this: print for I in my arguments. Simply I'm going to print I value. So here, if I write the function and whatever argument I write here now, see here, I can take two inputs, 2, 3. If I take two inputs, it is printing this numbers 2 and 3. Even if I take single argument function, if I write like this, Utkarsh, so it will be giving single output. So here I have given only one input, still it is working. Two inputs, still it is working. Even if I give 4 to 5 inputs, still it is working. So for example, ETL high, then true, then 4.5, 5, false, example. So I don't know how many number of inputs are going to require for that function. So this star arguments will act just like a list. Instead of using a list, you can make use of this arguments in Python, in arguments in function.
So you
So
mean to
this,
say
yes,
list is always defined, but argument is not defined, right?
yes, argument, you can take multiple inputs, not necessary. You can give two inputs, three inputs, or multiple number of inputs. So
Okay.
that flexibility you are having here.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So instead of list, make use of this arguments. So same, you try this on your own. So sum of numbers. So इसमें inputs आपके varied रहेंगे. So number inputs भी रहेंगे like this. So you are going to have inputs like this. From this, calculate sum of the numbers only. This function you need to create. So just sharing this file with you. So perform up to here and then type done in chat. And make sure you have marked this attendance for today. हाँ, yes. आणि दुसरीकडे डॉक्युमेंट सोडून दुसरीकडे कुठे पण डाउनलोड कर डेस्कटॉप पीसी असेल ना डी ड्राईव्ह किंवा ए ड्राईव्ह मध्ये डिरेक्टली सेव्ह करतो दिस पीसी दिसत नाही डाउनलोड मध्ये सेव्ह करतो डाउनलोड मध्ये सेव्ह आहे वाटतं ऑलरेडी स्लो हाँ हे होत नसेल तर मोबाईल हॉटस्पॉट वरून डाउनलोड
सेम as
हाँ डी प्लस आय केलंय तुम्ही सम आलंय हाँ कोड करेक्टली जाईल कोड करेक्ट सम साठी आहे फक्त इथं प्रोडक्ट लिहिताना फंक्शन नेम वापर देतो कोड तुम्ही सगळं करेक्ट लिहिलाय प्रोडक्टच्या ऐवजी सम द्यायचं हाँ सम किंवा सम अंडरस्कोर नंबर सम कीवर्ड आहे ना पायथन मध्ये सम अंडरस्कोर नाही सम नका लिहू सम अंडरस्कोर एन्युअल तसं लिहिलं तरी चालतंय सम अंडरस्कोर आहे फक्त इथं प्रोडक्टच्या ऐवजी आता सम एन फंक्शन कॉल करायचं खाली प्रोडक्ट फंक्शन कॉल केले ना त्याच्याऐवजी सम एन कॉल करायचं हा करायचं ते प्रोडक्ट फंक्शन मेमरी मध्ये ना त्याच्यामुळे हा वरती जे फंक्शन नेम देतो ना ते सेम कीवर्ड खाली यूज काय डाउनलोड्स मध्ये जाऊन म्हणजे डाउनलोड एडिटेड दुसरं लोकेशन नाही दिसत सी ड्राईव्ह डी ड्राईव्ह सोडून डेटा सेट एक नवीन फोल्डर नाही किंवा इथं सेव्ह you don't have permission documents documents मध्ये सेव्ह करायचं इकडे सेव्ह होते टैब्लू का 11:30 से वो प्लान होने वाला है लेकिन वो कंफर्म करता हूँ मैं आपको 11:30 to 1:30 वो एक बार कंफर्म करना पड़ेगा So 2 students have completed. I'm waiting for 10-15 more minutes. Okay. So I think most of you have completed up to here. So जिनका भी थोड़ा बहुत part pending है वो आप बाद में perform कर लो. So let us continue with this. So here I had asked you like this. You can take multiple inputs. It can be a number, boolean, integer, or it can be float. So from this list, from this inputs, I want sum of numbers only. So other, I don't want other values included. So this type of function I want to write here. So for writing this function, first of all, define sum underscore some numbers. So here you can take any arguments. You can give whatever you want. So here this time I am writing star arguments. So star देते ही ये list में consider this like a list. So whatever operations you perform on list, similar you can perform on the arguments. So here, so this function takes multiple inputs of various data types and calculates sum of numbers only. So numbers अगर आप चेक करोगे इसमें numbers का data type क्या रहता है? It can be float, correct, float, either float or it can be an integer. So you just need to check type of that number first. So before doing all things, so मैंने यहाँ पे sum अगर calculate करना है उसके लिए initialize with 0, initialize sum with 0. So I will write s is equal to 0 first. Then for I in my arguments, first of all I need to check whether the given input is a number or whether it is a float or integer. So for that, if type of I is equal to integer or type of I is equal to float, only then my sum is equal to sum plus I. Finally, return जो कीवर्ड है वो कहाँ पे आना चाहिए? Sum यहाँ पे है तो so यहाँ पे आना चाहिए outside the for loop. So return the value of s. So here sum of numbers only if I want to take. So here I am giving different type of input. So ETL high 3.54 11 12 false. Multiple inputs I am giving. Still it will not give me an error here. Why? Because I have built it like that. Build this function such that it will take sum of only integer or float. So here if you check 3.4 plus 11 plus 12. So numbers जो है उसका addition चाहिए मुझे only numbers. So 3.4, 11, 12, 14.7 and 12. If you verify this, so I will get same value 53.1. So same value I'm getting here. So this is how you can calculate sum of any numbers. So here you can also check the data type, integer or float. Whichever data type you want to operate, you can apply that condition like this. So this is clear to everyone. So similarly, जैसे यहाँ पे मैंने arguments किया था, arguments लिखे थे. So वैसे ही आप ये भी use कर सकते हो, keyword arguments. So for example, this multiply function I had used. So multiply, if you apply shift tab, this is about keyword arguments. This is written as double star KWARPS in Python. So keyword arguments क्या होते हैं? सबसे पहले first of all multiplication function I have created. So if I press shift tab, A and B, two inputs I have. So I can write like this as well. A is equal to 5 and B is equal to 6. So whenever you write like this, A is equal to 5, B is equal to 6, these are called as my keywords. So keywords I am giving like this. So keyword arguments. So here, what if I am having multiple keyword arguments? Not in this. For that, I will give one. Before that, I will show you keyword arguments acts like dictionaries. So just like dictionaries, you can make use of this keyword argument. So for example, I am going to write a function. So let us say function 2. This contains keyword arguments only. So here, let us say I want to print all the key and value pairs. So कोई भी dictionary अगर आप create करते हो, for example, dictionary is equal to, let us say A colon, I am creating any random dictionary here, B colon 2, C colon 3. Whatever dictionary I am creating. So here, if I write dictionary dot keys, it will give me all the key values, that is A, B and C. These are my keys. And values of the dictionary are, so this is key, then this is value. Key and value of the dictionary, key and value. This is continuously showing like this. So if you want values, values will be 1, 2 and 3. So if you write dictionary dot values, it will give you 1, 2, 3. So this entire it will give you like this. Similarly, what if I want key value pair? Both pair if I want, I will make use of dictionary dot items. So it will give me this two variables, key first, then value. Key, then value. So all this values it is showing. So then here, simply what I'm going to do, just I will show you, it acts just like a dictionary. So for key comma value. So key comma value in dictionary dot your keyword arguments dot items. So apply this one and simply I'm going to print. First of all, I will print the with f string. So f string use karna hai, then key colon. I want to also show value. Key colon value. Only this I want to print. So अगर आप print करते हो, it is not necessary to return anything. Print will just print all the key value pairs here. So if I write like this, function 2, here I am going to write keyword arguments like this. So name is equal to Utkarsh. Then age is equal to 29. Then so here job is equal to data scientist. And I can write multiple keyword arguments. Married equal to true. So as soon as I execute this, so it is showing me these are all my keys. These will act like all the keys. And remaining this will act like your values. So it will also act like key value pairs, this keyword arguments. You can give 4 arguments. If required, you can give only single argument. So function 2, if I write, so name is equal to ETL hive. So if I write only single keyword argument, it will give me single key and value pair like this. So single भी आप दे सकते हो, 2 keyword arguments दे सकते हो. How many keyword arguments I want to give, that I don't know. So you can give 2, 3, 4 or multiple keyword arguments, and you also don't know what keyword you are going to use. So that is totally up to you. So this is how you can. So ये keyword arguments क्या है, ये सभी को clear है? Okay. So then what is the practical example of this? So for example, let us say I want to create a user. So writing a function to create a user for a website. So here I'm going to write define create underscore user and double star keyword arguments. I'm going to make use of keyword arguments And then doc string is optional. Even if you don't give it, is still fine. So here, first of all, I'm going to create a blank dictionary. So here, not blank dictionary. So user dictionary I will create. So user is equal to, first of all, I have username. I will give this as none initially. So blank, none means blank. Then email of the user. So website के लिए मैं एक user create कर रहा हूँ. Then email of the user. Here also I am taking no input. So blank रख रहा हूँ मैं email. So none में make sure you make this none n capital. First letter capital होना चाहिए. Green में highlight हो जाएगा देखो. Then let us say I also want to check age of the user. By default I am considering 18. Default I am considering 18 here. So this is how. First of all, you need to create this list. Then here I can simply update this dictionary. So user dot update kwrs. You can simply apply this one. And finally, return user. This will create a dictionary. Now, let us say I only have username. I only have this user's username and his age. These two values I'm having. I'm not having the user's email. So simply I will write like this. So create user. Then here I will simply write username equal to, let us say, Utkarsh 1. And let us say I have age is equal to 29. I don't have email of this user as of now. So here, as soon as I execute this, so I can store this in any variable. Let us say u1 or your user 1. So u1 में अगर आप check करोगे, here email it will show by default, it will show as none. So if you are not having any one of the input, you can still make use of this function. So let us say you are having only username and email. By default, it will consider age as how much? 18. So you can simply write like this. U2 is equal to create user. Then username is equal to Aditi M3, let us say. And I have her email is equal to aditi@gmail.com. So I don't have her age. So by default, it will consider as 18. So by default, age is considered as 18 here. So if you have all three values, you can give all three values as well. So U3 is equal to create user. Just give here. So keyword arguments compulsory you need to give. ये username equal to ऐसे आपको compulsory देना पड़ेगा ये. और yes, you need to give this keyword argument. So username equal to, let us say, Sarthak S2, and let us say email I am having is equal to Sarthak S at gmail.com. And I also have his age. So age is equal to, let us say, 33. So if you check your U3 value now, U3 में username आ जाएगा, Sarthak S2 email आ जाएगा, and his age will also be there. Whatever you have given the age, that will be used. So ये आपको flexibility देता है. So if you make use of keyword arguments, it will give you flexibility. If you are not having any one of the input, it will consider whatever default input you have initially given here. So this is clear to everyone. Okay. So this was about creation of user. Similarly, what if I want to calculate area of different shapes? For example, first circle. Circle में आपको रहेगा pi into radius square. pi r squared. Circle, rectangle, rectangle रहेगा तो width और height रहता है, तो width by height. And finally triangle, half into base into height. Half into base into height. So you can also make use of keyword arguments here. So circle रहेगा तो आप क्या input लेते हो? Radius. Rectangle रहेगा तो आप क्या input लेते हो? Width and height. Triangle रहेगा तो आप base और height as a input लोगे. So here, let us say define area function I'm creating, and here first of all I need to give what shape it is, circle, rectangle or triangle. Then remaining are keyword arguments. So it can be either, if it is circle it should be radius, if it is rectangle you should give width and height, if it is triangle you should give base and height. So remaining are keyword arguments, it can be any arguments. So star KW arguments, keyword arguments, it will act like a dictionary. So here, first of all, I will check here. In this keyword arguments, I will check the key values. And before that, I also need to check shape. So first of all, for I in my keyword arguments dot keys. So keys में आपको check करना है इसमें यहाँ पे, और you can make use of both for key comma value in keyword arguments. Here, simply I am going to check if shape is equal to say circle and key is equal to radius. Only then I am going to calculate area of this circle. So area of circle. So simply अगर आपको pi का value import करना है, आपको separately copy paste नहीं करना पड़ेगा. So simply from math import pi value. So pi का value इसमें already predefined रहता है Python में. So it is already predefined in the math module. So 3.14, this is the pi value. So area is equal to pi into radius. So इसमें dictionary value जो है, so dictionary से आप कोई भी value कैसे define करते हो? For example, from this U3, if I want the username, how I will get the username? U3 of username. आप ये fetch कर सकते हो. What if I want age of the user 3? Simply write like this, U3 of age. So here I have the radius pi into, so here I want to have this value into value. So value में आपका radius रहेगा. So key will be radius और value में आपका radius रहेगा. So key comma value. So see, this is my key, this is the value. Key and value. Like that I am having the results. So simply I know value contains radius. So here I have already checked if this shape is equal to circle and key is equal to radius. So this is how you can, or simply you can also write like this, KW arcs of radius. Like this also you can write whole square. Totally dependent on you. You can write like this as well. This is also fine. So elif shape is equal to rectangle and key in, sorry, and here I need to check multiple keys, I think here. Key is equal to, so yes, here just a second. So here keyword arguments I've given, right? Just a second. So I have simply given key and value here. Instead of like this, now I will write it little bit differently. So here I'm going to have actually two keys in that one. Yes. First of all, let me just check this one, whether it is working fine. Okay, this is working fine. So if I'm going to again check now, shape is equal to rectangle and key in I can write like this, length comma width. Then in that case, area is nothing but, so for rectangle, area is simply length into width. So keyword arguments of length into keyword arguments. So it should be square bracket, not round bracket. It is a dictionary. So square bracket होना चाहिए यहाँ पे, square bracket keyword arguments of length into keyword arguments of width. Then yes.
इसमें और एक कर सकते हैं डेटा टाइप सिलेक्ट करके.
डेटा टाइप इसमें जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगा सिलेक्ट करने के लिए.
नहीं, if you वो लास्ट टाइम अपन किया था ना कि
हाँ.
अगर इंटीजर बूलियन ऑपरेशन की
ओके.
उसमें डेटा टाइप्स निकाल के वो फॉर्मूला वैसे लगा सकते हैं.
नहीं, डेटा टाइप्स निकालने की इसमें जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. हियर वी आर फोकसिंग ऑन कीवर्ड आर्गुमेंट्स हियर. तो कीवर्ड आर्गुमेंट्स में अगर आपको करना है तो ये कैसे करोगे, उसके लिए ये मेथड मैंने बताया. सो कीवर्ड आर्गुमेंट्स पर अभी फोकस करेंगे. So that data type, if you want to separate, you can do that function. It is very easy. Make use of this similar approach. Integer or float. So data types easily separate कर पाओगे. Elif shape equal to last shape is triangle and key in. So here I have base comma height. Then area is nothing but half into base into height. Half into keyword arguments of base into keyword arguments of height. So ये apply कर सकते हो. Else I have given some wrong input. If any of this input is not satisfying, else I am going to print. So please provide correct shape and keyword arguments. So here you can also write print shapes available. I'm having three shapes. First circle, then second rectangle, and third is triangle. So here and finally AR is equal to, here it should provide me no output, none. So as soon as I execute this, so you can also store this if you want to store A1 में circle radius circle मैंने store कर लिया. Similarly A2 is equal to, here I can check. So first of all area shape is equal to, I can give here rectangle and here I have length and height. Length, so length is equal to, let us say 3 and width is equal to 4. So A2, if you see, it will give you area of rectangle. 3 into 4 is nothing but 12. So आप ऐसे नहीं कर पाओगे इसमें. For example, I am giving shape as a rectangle, but can I give radius for rectangle? नहीं, तो वो तभी error देगा आपको. So see, it will give you, if I give shape is equal to rectangle, if I give radius equal to 3. So rectangle के लिए radius नहीं होता है, so it will give you, please provide correct shape and keyword arguments. It will give you. So rectangle के लिए आपको length और width ही देना पड़ेगा, radius work नहीं करेगा इसमें. So similarly, I can make use of triangle. So A4 is equal to area, shape is equal to triangle. And triangle के लिए आपको keyword arguments कौन से देने हैं? Base and height. These are two keyword arguments. So base is equal to, so I can give any base, let us say 12, and height, let us say 40 or 10. Height is equal to 10. So A4 contains value 60. So you can confirm here, half into 12 into 10, it is 60. So it is 60 value. And if you try to give any other shape, for example, A5 area, shape is equal to, let us say hexagon. If I give any other, and side is equal to 3. Let us see whether it works. So I have shapes which are available that are only circle, rectangle and triangle here. So it is giving me same result like this. So ये clear है सभी को? So this is how you can make use of keyword arguments. So why I'm not using arguments here is because, so here length or width, what you are giving, you should give, for proper shape you should give proper parameters. That is why I've given here keyword arguments. So this is clear to all of you? Okay. So this was about keyword arguments. Then one more function, type of function we are going to study, that is called as lambda function. So अभी तक हमने क्या किया था? We created one proper structure for each of this. So ये जो भी function हमने create किए थे, एक proper एक structured format में लिखा था मैंने. But what if I want to create single line functions? For that I have lambda functions. So creating, so lambda anonymous functions are, they are also called as anonymous functions. Or also called as lambda functions. So here, if you want to declare a lambda function, you have a syntax like this. So remember, lambda function, this should be single line function. तो इसमें जो भी आप कोड लिखोगे, ये एक लाइन में कंप्लीट होना चाहिए इसमें. So इसमें मल्टीपल, अगर कोड बहुत सिंपल है, सिंपल लॉजिक है, then you can easily make use of this lambda function. But complex कोड है तो आप कौन सा यूज करोगे? ये define keyword से यूज करोगे. So lambda function, if you want to create a simple function which squares a given number, so square of given number if you want, simply you need to write like this. First of all, function name you need to give equal to, variable name देते हो वैसे function name देना पड़ेगा, equal to, lambda is a keyword here. Then if you want square of a number, it will require only single input. So single input से भी square आप calculate कर सकते हो. So a output of this function is going to be nothing but a into a, or a squared. So here let us create this similar function, sqr square is equal to lambda. Lambda is a keyword here. You can take any values input, x colon x squared if I give like this. So this is how you are going to define an anonymous function. So here, if you write help on sqr, So it will show you a lambda function. It is called as anonymous function in Python. So it takes how many inputs? Only one single input, that is x. So that it is showing here. So once you have done this, simply you can write square of whatever number you want. 4, it is 16. So you can also store in another value. So let us say S1 is equal to square of 4.5 or 4.7. So S1 value is, so you can also check in another cell. S1 value is 22.09. So 22.09 is square of 4.7. You can check 4.7 into 4.7. 22.09. So you can take multiple inputs as well, not necessary. You should take single argument here. You can also make use of keyword arguments or arguments here. So here, let us say if I want to multiply only two numbers, let us say multiplication 2 or addition I am creating. So add is equal to lambda. Let us say two numbers only I want to add in this. A comma B is equal to, so here simply is equal to not colon A plus B. This is what I need as output. A plus B is the output of my addition function. So add 5 comma 7, let us. So it is giving me 12. You can also store this in any other variable. So A2 or A1 is equal to add 1.5 comma 2.7. So as soon as you execute, if you check in A1, 1.5 plus 2.7 is 4. It is 4.2 here. So this is how you can make use of multiple values. So here you can also make use of arguments. So let us say I want a sum n function, sum n numbers if I want. So why I'm not taking sum अगर मैं लिखता हूँ ये green color से highlight होगा, right? So it is already inbuilt function in Python. So I'm not taking that sum. So make sure you avoid keyword as your variable name. So sum n is equal to lambda. So here I want to take arguments. So numbers as input colon, and here simply I will write sum of number. So this will also give me sum of all the numbers inside list. So if I give sum underscore n, here I can take multiple values 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you check 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, it will give me same 18. Now here, what if I want to write a function like this? So which takes multiple different type of inputs, but I want only sum of numbers. So for that I can make use of list comprehension. So sum n, so sum numbers is equal to lambda. यहाँ पर थोड़ा सा कोड आपका ये थोड़ा सा, because I'm taking star arguments, multiple inputs are there. So first of all I need to find out I. So यहाँ पर output के बारे में सोचना है. So output will be I for I in arguments if type of I equal to integer or type of I equal to float. ये apply करना है and I want sum of this entire list. So sum numbers, if I write like this, now I can give multiple inputs now. ETL hype, 11, 12, 13.5, false, true, 10, 19, whatever numbers I want, I can give here. So it will give me some of the numbers only inside this list. So if I give 11 plus 12 plus 13.5, it will give me same output. So 67.5. So यहाँ पे this coding style now it is totally dependent on you. If you are comfortable in writing this single line code, you can make use of this lambda function. But if you are not comfortable in writing, still it is fine. Make user defined. Make use of this user defined function. So option is with you. You can make use of any function. Either you can make use of lambda function or make use of a normal function. So totally dependent on your coding style. So whichever is suitable for you, you can make use of that. So simple functions आप इससे easily कर पाओगे. But if little bit complex functions are there, it will be bit tricky to write this code. So similarly, I can also create a function which calculate even odd is equal to, let us say, lambda. I just want to check whether given input is even, odd or even. So here let me take a single number for now. Then simply I need to check n mod 2. Sorry, here we should first of all think about the output. So here first of all I will get even if n mod 2 is equal to 0, else it should be odd. So यहाँ पे हमेशा आपको पहले आउटपुट के बारे में सोचना है. Even output if n mod 2 equal to 0, else it should be odd. So even odd, I need to give a single number here. It is not keyword argument. So here if I give 104, it should give me as even odd. If I give 111, it should give me as odd. Yes, it is giving me. So this is how you can make use of lambda function. So ये clear है सभी को? Okay. So then this was about your lambda function or anonymous function. Similarly, so here, just like for loop, you can also make use of a map function. For example, here, let us say I have a function f of x equal to x plus 1. Now this function usually, it will work on a single number itself. But what if I want to apply this on a list? For that I have map function. So in map function, you give one list as input and what function you need to apply. So here, this is my input list, and in this input list, I want to map all this x plus 1 values. So it will simply apply 0 plus 1, 1, 5 plus 1, 6, 8 plus 1, 9, 3 plus 1, 4, 2 plus 1, 3, 1 plus 1, 2. Like this, it is going to simply apply for list. So this similar example I will show for you. So this is the last topic for you for today. So map function. So for example, I have created a lambda function. It can be any function, not necessary it should be a lambda function. So define function 2, let us say, or simply I will write function 2 is equal to lambda x colon x plus 1. This is my simple function. So now function 2, I can apply this easily on single number. So this I can apply, right? But what if I take a list? So is this going to work here, function 2, and apply this on list? Is this going to work? So it will give you an error. So लिस्ट में आप डायरेक्टली कोई भी एक नंबर ऐड नहीं कर सकते. सो फॉर दैट आई नीड टू मेक यूज ऑफ मैपिंग फंक्शन. सो मैप फंक्शन आप यूज कर सकते हो यहाँ पे. सो एज सुन एज आई राइट मैप हियर, मैप, and here shift tab if you press, first of all it asks for a function. It is going to be in function 2, and iterable, it is nothing but my a value. So here by default, if you see, is it giving me output directly? No. So here it is giving me a memory location. This is called as my memory location of RAM. So here just convert this into a list. So list of map, write this function to comma a. So here how it has mapped this. So 1 plus 1 is how much? 2. 3 plus 1, 4. 5 plus 1, 6. 7 plus 1, 8. Like this it has mapped. So you can also map directly as well. List of map and function to, and let us say I am passing a random list here directly. So pass a list directly here 4, 9, 11, 13, 15. So as soon as I execute this, so 4 plus 1, 5. 9 plus 1, 10, 11 plus 1, 12, 13 plus 1, 14, 15 plus 1, 16. So map will act just like a for loop. You can make use of any function. Lambda function भी हो सकता है या दूसरा कोई function भी हो सकता है. So similarly, I can also map this even odd function as well. Now this even odd function, it is working for a single number. Now what if I apply this to my, so let me create a B list. B is equal to 1, 1, 1, 24. Now here, if I call this even odd function and if I apply this on B, by default it will give me an error. So for if you want to apply this simple function on multiple elements, make use of this map again. So again make use of list map. You can store this in any other list if required. So EO list I'm sharing this. So list of map. Then here first of all, I need to provide function name. So even odd is my function name. Then I will require, so whatever arguments, so iterables I will pass here. So iterables, they are stored in the list B. So if you check even odd here, and if you compare this with the list B now, so 111 it is a odd number, 122 even number, 24 even number, 123 odd number, 115 is also odd, 117 is also odd. So this is how you can make use of lambda function. So map function, sorry. So यहाँ तक सभी को clear है? Okay. So
can you use lambda function?
yes, lambda function only I have used here. So
Inside.
yes, directly you can make use of lambda function. So if you want, so let us say you want to get square of elements inside this or cube of elements inside list. Simply you can make use of, so let us say C is equal to list of map. So directly you can write the lambda function here, lambda x colon x cube comma. So whatever list you want, you can pass here. So let us say I want to apply this again on B list, or directly also you can pass 1, 3, 7, 11. Directly also you can pass the list. So as soon as you check E, cube of 1 is 1, 3 cube is 27, 7 cube 343, 11 cube 1331. So directly also you can make use of this lambda. Directly भी कर सकते हो आप ये ऐसे. So this is clear. But usually this is also correct, but ये function कहीं पे store नहीं होगा. So better practice will be define a function first, then apply map. So that will be a better practice. But if you want, you can also do like this. No issues. So यहाँ तक किसी को कोई भी queries है? Okay. So आज के लिए आपका इतना ही part था. So if you are having any queries, you can ask me now. So I'm first of all, or okay. So this was your functions. So this is your functions. So once completed, you can leave for the day for today. So if you are having any queries, you can ask me now. So I'm stopping the recording for this session.